Good morning, students. Today, we're going to start up with our new chapter, which is chapter number 8, which is in regarding to the rise of Magad. And in this chapter, we're going to study as to how the significance of development during the early Vedic period and later Vedic period gave rise to various different kingdoms, and how the development of kingdoms and how they were ruled, and who were the important people were who were the important individuals who brought about various changes in their own kingdoms, and how the system of ruling started to divide in a different way which was practiced earlier. Now, here, as we had already studied in our previous two chapters about the later Vedic period and the early Vedic period, where it was stated, or we came to learn, that the development that the early Vedic period people had when Aryans started coming into the Indian territories. Slowly, initially what happened, they used to live a nomadic life, moving from one place to another. Then then they settled down in various different parts of Indian territory. Then, in the later Vedic period, we studied as to how this settlement also gave them an idea of cultivating crops, and more significantly, they had a well settled planned system of living, having their own prescribed rules, regulations, according to which they moved their way of life accordingly. There were various development during that time that took place. That is the most probably the significance of the Iron Age, which brought about a lot of change in their activities in regarding to their main occupation, that was agricultural activity. And this is how what happened, that the production of surplus crops, the cultivation activities more significantly happened during this time, and that gave them an opportunity to expand themselves in a very larger way. Now, in this way, what happened is that there were various other political uh, changes that also took place. Like, for example, now earlier they had tribes who used to be important, and most of the people, they followed the tribal head or the headman of the tribe, and they used to follow whatever guidelines or things that were being told by them. Later on, that system changed to a territorial system where individuals started uh, having their own territories and ruling them in small kingdoms or independent kingdoms. Now, this two different important concepts prevailed during this time. One was known as the Janapadas, and another was known as the Mahajanapadas. Now, Janapadas, actually, what does it mean? It means that a person or people, a group of people, placing themselves in a particular place and living there. And Mahajanapadas are the larger extent or group of people compared to Janapadas. Now, in such a way, what has happened is that the composition of this system slowly it started to change from one to another, where these Janapadas were most probably composed of small group of villages or towns nearby, and these Mahajanapadas were the important as a whole, considering the whole of the small villages, towns, and bigger cities that were ruled by individual people. Now, in earlier times, most of the people were loyal to their tribes, or they were loyal to their own Janapadas or the territorial head. But later on, this system changed from a one kind of practice to a kingdom kind of practice, where independent kingdoms started to be ruled by an independent king. But there also was a system of republic. In some of the states or some of the kingdoms, a republic system started. Now, in certain kingdoms, it was such that the king was head and the blood relationship used to continue being the king. But in certain states were also there, or kingdoms were also there, where a republic system or republic system of working used to take place. Now, what was the republic system? Republic system means where people used to choose their own head or the king that had that were allowed to rule them. Now there are certain examples also given which states that this republic system was practiced. Now there were kingdoms such as Sakya's kingdom, then you have Lachavi's kingdom, who practiced this kind of republic form of governance, where people themselves chose their own kings or the ruler. Now, as per this, it is mentioned in various different epical books or religious literatures, like Buddhism used to prevail during the time, Jainism used to prevail during the time. Those literature and other Vedic literature also considered or stated about the existence of 16 important Mahajanapadas. There were about 16 important Mahajanapadas who settled down in various different parts of the Indian territory, like Vindhya, then you have near the Indus Valley areas, in the Ganga plains, in the northern part. So there were various important political territories occupied by individual kings, and they ruled their own territories. Now certain important places or certain few important names of kingdoms that prevailed during that time, that were about 4 important kingdoms were there during that time. There were about 4 important kingdoms that had a very supreme power or hold over the various different territories. Now the names such as Vatsa was there, then you have Avanti, Kaushala and Magad. These 4 important kingdoms were found to be supreme among the other 16 different kingdoms that prevailed during that time. Now among all this, the most powerful kingdom was the Magad, that we are going to learn about in this chapter mostly. Magad was regarded as one of the most powerful kingdoms during this time, and it is said that it held a very supreme power in regarding to territorial conquest and the extent of their kingdoms that they build about in the coming of times. Now in this regard, we are going to study about different parts or the kings that prevailed during this time, and how this kingdom of Magad flourished and how it developed. Here, as I mentioned, Bimbisara, the kingdom of Magad initially was founded and it was started by King Bimbisara. It was in the year about when he ruled up. It was said that he ruled for about 52 years, which is a very long period of time. This also states how powerful Magad kingdom was during this time. And he expanded his territory in various different ways, where he also followed a policy of matrimonial alliances. Now what does it mean by matrimonial alliances is that getting married to his nearby kingdoms or neighbor kingdoms, getting into marriage relationship with nearby kingdoms, whereas the relationship of marriage would combine his territory to a larger formations. So marriage alliance was also one of the policies that was followed. Then going on war with the other kingdoms and conquesting them and then capturing those territories. So it was considered that he was a very powerful king during that time. Now the places such as Anga, then as mentioned, which is near the river Champa, was also under his control, which held a very important, significant territorial benefit for the Magad kingdom. Now he began to bring about a lot of changes and prosperities during his time when he was the king, and he started the Magad kingdom from his own leadership. Now this significant development brought about more and more changes into the territorial extent than the conquest that he brought about, and he was considered as to be one of the kings where the economical system or the benefit system of the citizens were also seen, where during his time the economic and the stability of the economic system was very much important for him, where various different policies were adopted, the governance systems were changed, and various important things were seen so that the kingdom's flourishment and the development of the kingdoms would be there for a longer period of time. And that is why he was successful in leading his kingdom for about 52 years. Now, after Bimbisara, the next king that came and started ruling the Magad dynasty was Ajatasattu. Now, Ajatasattu was the son of Bimbisara, who became the next successor of the Magad kingdom, and during he was at the it was that he was at the age of 32 years when he became the king. Now it is said that he also followed the same policies or theories that his father used to follow in regarding to the expansion system of his kingdom. He conquered most of the neighboring states of his kingdoms, and he made Magad the most powerful and the most prosperous kingdom in and around India during his leadership. Now, Ajatasattu, he also had very important role that he plays, for which he has been remembered for a very long period of time. Now, it is said that he built a fort in the village of Patligram, now which later on was transformed and changed to a name of Patliputra. Now his successors were also eventually, and others who were there. Now in kingdoms, it is always found that rivals or rivalry people are always there, who would like to overthrow one king and take over his place. He was such a cunning and he was such a clever king that he always made policies which overthrew his successors, and he overthrew his own part. Now, in this regard, what had happened is that after Ajatasattu, it was seen that various other people also came. After the death of Ajatasattu, there were other successors also who came in his place, but they were not competent. They were not much competent in regarding to developing or taking care of their kingdoms. So that is why what happened is that on the next part, the next dynasty started ruling the Magad kingdom, which was known as the Nanda dynasty. Now Nanda dynasty started ruling after the leadership of Bimbisara and Ajatasattu, and the successor others who came, who were overthrown in the later part of the period. Now Ajatasattu, after the death of Ajatasattu and the other successors who were thrown out, the Nanda dynasty started ruling the Magad. Now here, as it is said that Bimbisara was the actual person or the king who started the Magad dynasty or the Magad kingdom, and he flourished. In the same way, when Nanda dynasty came, the first king who started ruling the Magad was called as his name was Mahapadma Nanda. That is why it is stated that the Nanda dynasty started after Ajatasattu. It was about during the time of 4th century. It was during the time of the 4th century. It is stated that the Magad dynasty was ruled by the Nanda dynasty, and various different kings or various different powerful people started coming up into the Indian territories. And then it was seen that during this time only the Magad dynasty developed to a larger extent, or the other significant ruler also came. After Mahapadmananda, his successor was overtaken, and the next king who became was Dhanananda from the Magad dynasty. Now here it is stated that during this period, that during this period it was seen that Alexander, one of the important ruler from the European side or European kingdoms, who had planned to invade India. Now Magad was so powerful that Alexander army refused to enter during this period. During this period when Bimbisara, Ajatsatru, then the other Nanda dynasty rulers who were there like Mahapadmananda, then Dhanananda, during that time it was seen that Alexander refused to enter and invade into the Indian territories during this time. Now as Dhanananda was the considered as the last ruler, his character, if you talk about, it was seen that he was a very cruel kind of ruler, whose most probably was seen to overtake opportunities and privileges for himself, being a self-concentrated person. Now later on it was seen he was uprooted, or the leadership or the rule of Dhanananda was later on taken over by Chandragupta Maurya, one of the important rulers. It is seen in the historical events that who brought about a lot of changes, who belonged from a simple family, Chandragupta Maurya, who rose to be a very important significant feature later on, and he destroyed the kingdoms of Dhanananda and took over the Magad and overthrew the Magad king who was there, who was Dhanananda. And the time of then Mauryan dynasty started. The other period of Mauryan dynasty started. So you can see here that there were three important rulers or three important kingdoms of group of families who ruled the Mauryan dynasty. One was Bimbisara, who founded, then his son Ajatsatru. Then after Ajatsatru came the Nanda dynasty, where the last ruler was Dhanananda, who was again overtaken by Chandragupta Maurya. And later on, for a long period of time, it was seen that Mauryan dynasty or the Magad was ruled by the Mauryan dynasty. Now, in the next class, we are going to learn about the other part of the importance where the significance invasion that I talked about in few minutes back about Alexander was done in the Indian territory during that time, and how various important changes took place, or the system of governance started changing, and how the invasion of Alexander impacted the Indian political system in a larger extent. So this is all for today, and the other notes of your previous chapter will be given to you in the next class. Thank you very much.